Welcome. We are initiating ourselves with the principles of Vedic mathematics, science, and technology. We are taking up Shatpath Brahman as scripture of Vedic mathematics, science, and technology. Vedic scriptures are uniquely organized. The knowledge and organization of knowledge and the enlightenment of knowledge are the features which simultaneously flow within the text of the Vedic scriptures. Therefore, the first feature which deserves to be imbibed regarding particular scripture of Vedic family is the organization of the scripture. Organization of the text of Shatpath Brahman as such brings to focus as that it is organized as 16 kandas and Parpataks, Adhyayas, Brahman and Kandikas. The formulations Kanda, Parpatak, Adhyaya, Brahman, Kandika, as well as Shatpath and Brahman, that way are the initial foundational formulations, and these formulations are to be visited as per their organization, availing letters of the text of Devanagari, and then Devanagari Varanamala as five-fold compactified format will be sequentially taking us to letters alphabet, numbers alphabet, then sthapatya, which itself is of three folds, three formats, Bahir, Madhya, and Antrik. But when we are visiting the organization feature, then the Sthapatya Brahman will take us to the division of this text as 10 kandas, 55 Parpatak, 66 Adhyayas, 273 Brahmanas, and 5,501 Kandikas. This organization, on the face of it, is of the format of hypercube of 5, representative regular body of 5 space. The formulations Kanda, Parpatak, Adhyaya, Brahman and Kandika are taking us to 6 space format, while the organization in terms thereof is taking us to 5 space format. Before we take up these features step by step, sequentially, one by one, let us have an attentive observation about the organization of Vedic scriptures. Let me state it very specifically, and let me be slow while I am making this statement, as this statement is inherently bringing us face to face with the organization features. Vedic scriptures have unique organization features. The uniqueness is that the knowledge and organization of knowledge complement and supplement each other. Further, knowledge and organization of knowledge run parallel to each other. So this complementing and supplementing feature and simultaneously remaining parallel is the characteristic which deserves to be imbibed well. The organization of scripture is of the features of organization of knowledge of the scripture itself. The organization of the text is formatted along this sthapatya measuring rod. The knowledge of the scripture goes parallel with measure of the sthapatya measuring rod. The transcendental flow along the sthapatya measuring rod is the enlightenment of the knowledge of the scripture. Vedic Ganita sutras are at the base of Maheshwara sutras, and like that, the knowledge, organization of knowledge, and enlightenment of knowledge simultaneously unfold, remaining parallel to each other. And it is lively in Sthapatya Brahmana text as well, being the scripture of the Vedic family. From this session, we are attempting to be face to face with the organization of Sthapatya Brahman. Let me be very, very specific, as that the knowledge has its organization. It is the inherent feature of the knowledge that it organizes itself as per its own values. Therefore, knowledge and organization of knowledge are two distinct disciplines, but intimately connected with each other. It is in this background that today we are having a focused attention upon Kanda 1 of Shatpath Brahman. On the computer screen is tabulation, Kanda-wise, Prapatak-wise, Adhyaya-wise, Brahmana-wise, and Kandika-wise. Column 1 is the number of Kandas, 1 to 10. Column 2, Prapatak column, is tabulating the Prapataks per Kanda. Then column 3 tabulates the chapters, Kanda-wise chapters. Column 4 tabulates Kanda-wise Brahmanas, and ahead there is tabulation of Kanda-wise Kandikas. Now, this tabulation, as it is giving us the comprehensive view of the scripture, Shatpath Brahman. And this scripture, as it is a sequential chase of as many as 5,501 steps, as 5,501 Kandikas. And Kandika itself is the formulation of TC value 20. And value 20 is the value of the formulation Ved. So each Kandika is a full Ved value. I'm so stating with this pointed attention, as we have to be equal respectful to each and every Kandika. Now 5,500 Kandikas, and each being a Ved, means 5,500 multiplied by 20 are the values. So there are as many as 5,500 multiplied by 20 values of this scripture. As such, sadhakas are fulfilled with intensity of virtue to be parallel with this scripture. One is to be faithfully respectful for each and every kandika, and for it naturally one is to devote a reasonable time, and it is this aspect which has not been respected, and it is because of it that the values of the scriptures have gone dormant. The policymakers, the educators, as well as the individual scholars have to be fully conscious as that it is the finished product of the Vedic systems. The reach of the Vedic knowledge, the reach of the Vedic systems, the attainments of the Vedic systems are completely chartered here. These are the Vedic laboratories products. These are the systems. Therefore, these values of this scripture deserve to be imbibed in this sequence and the way these stand organized. For it, naturally, we have to take a step ahead and we have to tabulate chapter-wise brahmanas of all the 10 khandas. And when we will be face to face with this spectra of the organization of the text as 237 brahmanas, then the tabulation will be as it is on the computer screen. Khanda 1, as of 9 chapters, will be having a preservation of the knowledge of 37 brahmanas, and the split is going to be as is in the first row in red color depiction. Therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge, the researchers fulfilled with the intensity of research, and the policymakers interested for revival of this knowledge have to create institutional apparatus. Means it shall be a research institute, it should be a faculty, it may be a complete university itself, and the course is to be for full length of minimum of 5 years at graduation level. Now, this tabulation, when is viewed ahead for the organization of the brahmanas as per their kandikas, then the tabulation with respect to Kanda 1 for its brahmanas, 37 in number, will come to be as is the tabulation on the computer screen. See, in column 1 is the serial number of the brahmana. In column 2 is tabulation of the kandikas of each brahmana. So brahmana 1 is a scripture complete in itself of 22 kandikas. Column 3 gives us the sthapatya, the geometric format for it, and it comes to be hypercube 6, the representative or regular body of a 6 space in 4 space. So, in very first Brahmana, the format as it is brings us face to face with the format of hypercube 6, which is the format of the sun itself, the Surya. So, Brahmanas of this scripture are of the features of the format of hypercube 6. And the total number of Brahmanas, 37 as these are of Kanda 1, bring us face to face with the value 37, which is the value of hypercube 5 of full unit together with hypercube 5 of half unit. Therefore, we are at the center of hypercube of 5. Means we are at center of the space, the fifth element. And center of the fifth element is 6 space, that is Surya. That means this format as it is having its very first step as sun being the center of the solar universe, means the space fulfilled with the values of 6 space at its center, making it its origin, is the chase domain of this scripture. This scripture is having full chase of space with 6 space as its origin. So essentially, this scripture is going to be the Vedic reach of the existence phenomenon of our solar universe. So see, when sequentially we will be at column 2 of the Kandikas of the Brahmanas of Kanda 1, then the geometric formats thereof, as are tabulated in column 3, will give us blissful glimpse of the comprehension of this scripture. This scripture begins with hypercube 6 of full unit and has final reach at hypercube 6 of half unit. See, it is going to be a very, very colorful path. This chase path, this sequential path, these sequential organization of higher dimensional formats is the bliss for the modern mind. Modern mind, when will be through this chase, this preservation of comprehension of Vedic rishis, then one will certainly be out of the ego domain and will start melting, conditioning because of different lower level comprehensions of the basis base made for the existing mathematics, sciences, and technologies. It is for the sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of virtue to have full glimpse of this reach of the Vedic systems. They shall go by the enlightenment preserved in Srimad Bhagavad Gita as chapter 17, Sharda Tre Vibhag Yog, of shlokas 23 to 28. And it is this enlightenment which, as the enlightenment key for the Vedic knowledge systems, including Shatpath Brahman, this enlightenment clearly preserves as that the Vedas, Brahmanas, and Yajanas were settled, formatted, organized, and chased as per Om Tat Sat, and that is the only Nirdesh, the command. Scholars, sadhakas, students, fulfilled with the intensity of virtue to be parallel with the knowledge, organization of knowledge, and enlightenment of Shatpath Brahman shall begin with, shall approach Shatpath Brahman as per the Bhagavad Gita command, Om Tat Sat, as it is the end command, Om Tat Sat iti Nirdesha. And this command is for all who are intensified in their urge for the chase of the Vedas, Brahmanas, and Yajanas, and the Yajna, Tap, Dan, Kriya, and Kram, or the processing steps which are to be regulated as per this very command. So we shall be taking up the values of Shatpath Brahman by having initiation of ourselves as per Om Tat Sat iti Nirdesha, and with it our initiation will take us parallel to the way the knowledge stands organized as per the values of sthapatya, miring rod. The knowledge flows as per the Mayer of the sthapatya, miring rod, and enlightenment unfolds as per the transcendental content to flow as Divya Ganga along the sthapatya, miring rod format. Lord Vishnu is the overlord of sthapatya, miring rod. Lord Brahma is the overlord of the Mayer of the sthapatya, miring rod, and transcendental Lord Shiv is the overlord of the transcendental content to flow along this format. Lord Vishnu is the overlord of six space. Lord Brahma is the overlord of four space, and Lord Shiva is the overlord of five space. As such, we, the students of Vedic systems, having intensity to imbibe the values of Shatpath Brahman, shall begin with as per the command of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much.